It is April 2026, and the United States is currently 5 weeks into an escalating war with Iran. On Saturday, April 4th, the White House suddenly stopped the flow of official information. At 11:08 a.m., a press lid was called, signaling that there would be no public appearances for the remainder of the day. By the following morning, President Trump had skipped the traditional Easter Sunday church services, disappearing entirely from public view. When a wartime commander-in-chief goes silent without explanation, it creates an immediate void, one that the public will inevitably attempt to fill. Digital platforms react to silence with speed. This graph shows the baseline of social media chatter spiking exponentially as commentators began manufacturing their own explanations for the president's absence. Prediction markets quickly followed, with traders placing heavy bets on the president's potential incapacitation. One specific, unverified claim soon became the dominant narrative, that the 79-year-old president had been rushed to Walter Reed National Military Medical Center for emergency treatment. Within 48 hours, the digital conversation shifted from the president's health to the potential invocation of the 25th Amendment. Without a single confirmed fact, a quiet holiday weekend had transformed into a national debate over the stability of the chain of command. To see what was actually happening, we have to look back at the Saturday morning timeline. Behind closed doors, the administration was monitoring a classified military operation deep within Iranian territory. U.S. commandos were in the middle of a rescue mission, attempting to extract the second crew member of a downed F-15E fighter jet from a remote mountain range in southwest Iran. It was a successful extraction, yet because the White House prioritized secrecy over communication, a significant military achievement was almost entirely overshadowed by domestic rumors. But the president's weekend wasn't devoted entirely to the war room. During this same window, he traveled to his golf club in Virginia. His administration's official output focused on the holiday, releasing polished statements regarding Easter and Christian liberty. At the same time, the president was on his smartphone, issuing expletive-laden ultimatums to Tehran. He warned that if the Strait of Hormuz remained closed, the U.S. would obliterate Iran's power plants and bridges, threats that immediate critics labeled as potential war crimes. This created a surreal, modern dilemma: a leader who was physically absent and officially silent, yet digitally aggressive and highly visible. The rumors collapsed on Sunday, April 5th, when the president returned to the White House on foot, appearing stable and walking unaided. Almost immediately after the reappearance, Donald Trump Jr. spoke out against the weekend speculation. He branded the hospital rumors as a demonic mass distraction, claiming they were coordinated to obscure his father's role in the pilot's rescue. By framing the confusion as a targeted attack, the administration turned a communication failure into a political weapon, pivoting the focus away from the president's golf trip and his digital threats. While the domestic headlines focused on the rumor mill, the Middle East conflict continued to escalate at its primary choke point, the Strait of Hormuz. The president's threats specifically targeted these pieces of Iranian infrastructure, further tightening the tension in an already volatile region. This episode demonstrates that modern misinformation doesn't require a complex conspiracy. It only requires a vacuum of information at a moment of high anxiety. Geopolitical stability is increasingly tied to the flow of information. When a leader simply stops communicating, the resulting vacuum can be as destabilizing as the crisis itself.